All right, hello and welcome to Driver Interviews with Bobby Fazio. Today is Tuesday, October 25th, 2022, and we're coming off a nice weekend at the Pennsylvania Dutch Classic at Maple Grove Raceway. So I am in a different setting, as you can obviously see. I'm actually at my father's house. We had an unfortunate, yet somewhat expected, sad tragedy in the family. My grandfather, my beloved grandfather, Joe Fazio, passed away this week. He actually, last week, I should say, he passed away on Wednesday morning, and I will miss him dearly. He was a huge part of my life. Came to all of my baseball. I played baseball for 30 years, guys. Before I really got heavy into drag racing, I was a baseball player, and he came to every one of my games. He came to everything that I did growing up. He was my confirmation sponsor. He made me do chores at his house. He made me help cut grass, things that would make you not want to go to your grandparents' house. He knew how to make his own pizza. He knew how to make wine. He knew how to make applesauce. He did everything. This guy was just like, I don't know, he worked at a steel plant. He grew up in the Depression. Everything related back to the Great Depression, okay, and money and how they didn't have anything. And good Lord, I heard those stories my whole life. But he did well for himself, and he and my grandmother. And my grandmother is still alive, and so I'm going to miss my grandpa Joe, and that's why I'm at my dad's house, and that's why I have this background. See who's out there. Hey, Walt, how you doing, buddy? I got my nice new Bucky's LTD auto body shirt on. I got an interview with Travis Hess this past weekend at the Dutch Classic. So I wasn't sure if we were still going to go to the Dutch Classic, but sounds like, Dad still wanted to go. I was loaded up, so I could go either way on that one. So we ended up going, and I took my Stock Eliminator Mustang there, my 92 Mustang 5.0. And after the episode that I had last week, the tech episode with Robin Lawrence, I decided I changed my whole fuel map up. I changed the whole program up, and I'll let you know how my results, how it went. So I will get into that in a little bit. Dan Wally, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Doug Deck, thank you. I appreciate it. So this is Driver Interviews with Bobby Fazio. Go to driverinterviews.com. Check out my website if you want to purchase shirts and stickers. I did a bad job packing last week. People were asking me for shirts. I forgot to bring shirts to the biggest national open of the year. So I'm just like, I was a little out of it. Maybe I shouldn't have even been racing, but it's our happy place. We love being there. It takes your mind off of bad things, and it was just such a great place to be at. A great pit spot, top of the staging lanes. It was a great thing to do. I'm glad we went. So check out my website. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, by the way, at Driver Interviews. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Same thing with YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, the red subscribe button. I really appreciate that, guys. And hit the like button if you could. Draginsights.com. Go there. Check out your stats. Check out your opponent's stats. You're going to have a lot of probably new furthest under the index or quickest mile per hour runs showing up in there very shortly due to that Dutch Classic that we just saw with that killer weather. So if you haven't been in there in a while, check it out. There's a lot of new stats. Draginsights.com. Sometimes I say app.draginsights.com. They both take you to the same place. So all you need is an email address to sign up. And last but not least, advancedclutches.com. Rob Youngblood has joined the team here, and he helped me out a lot this year. Now I've always run McLeod clutches in my car, and at the beginning of the year, I was having trouble with it, and I had met Rob Youngblood out in Las Vegas when I was doing interviews out there, so I called him up and asked him, Rob, I don't run your clutch, but maybe you can help me. I'm at my wit's end here. And he helped me out. He gave me a couple measurements, told me where to set some finger heights, and put the clutch back in on Thursday, got to Cecil County on Friday, and won the event on Saturday. So thanks, Rob Youngblood. And we are switching to one of his clutches now in the off season with our total rebuild. So advancedclutches.com. Helpful person, nice guy, knowledgeable. Give him a call. Highly recommend it. All right. Oh, one thing I do want to show you guys. Since I'm at Dad's house, I get to get to spend a little time with this bad boy right here. So this is my national event Wally, my one and only from the Keystone National. The Mopar Express Lane Nationals from last year at Maple Grove. It's one of the big guys. It's huge. It's sweet. I love it. So when I do come to Dad's, I like got to stare at it for a couple minutes. And it's heavy. And I got a medal. So we have that hanging next to it, and my recently signed Ralph Macchio book, Waxing On the Karate Kid and Me, because my wife and I met him last week in New York, and we're obsessed with the Karate Kid. We actually had the movie playing at our wedding reception, which I told Ralph Macchio about, and his response was, "Well, then it'll last forever." So I'm taking those words as gospel. All right, let's get to the racing now. So we were at the Dutch Classic. Weather was great. It was a success. I'd say it was a success. We didn't get to finish running class though, and I know that's like a big deal for everybody, right? We want to run class, see who the fastest cars are. The staging lanes was a bit of a crap show up there, we'll say, because there's so many cars. They're calling stockers, and by class, and A through G, come on up, and H, I, J, K, come on up. I was running K stock automatic, and it was pretty crowded class. There were six of us, and I was messing with, I guess for me, it was more of an expensive test and tune because I run speed density all the time. Anybody that watched our episode last week with Robin Lawrence of Holly, I was running speed density and I wanted to try Alpha N. I know that kind of goes against the rules. I know Fast never liked when I would use the Alpha N word as like a cursed word. They just don't like it. You're not taking it. It's like letting the car act or run like it has a carburetor on it. It just delivers the same amount of fuel based on the throttle position. And to me, for bracket racing, why wouldn't that be a good thing? That was my idea. So I tried that for the first 2 runs of the day. I got there late. I missed Q1 or time run 1 since it's a national open. So I made the second run and I went like 11:69, which should have went faster. I went on 11:63 at the nationals, and the air was actually better at this race. So right off the bat, I didn't guess 100% right on my Alpha N tune. Then it was time to go up there for class. And who do I get in class round 1? Cecil Frazier, K-Stock Automatic. The guy was going 11:30s. That's 130 under the index. The K index is 1265. I don't know if these pairings were 100% right, but there was just so many cars up there, and I don't think anybody really cared. Who am I racing? Fine, send me down. So Cecil Frazier. Now, let me tell you, I did not know who Cecil Frazier. I heard his name, but I didn't know that was him. Like, I just met this guy. He had a white Camaro. How you doing? What lane do you want? All right, let's go. So I didn't know the guy had me covered by 3/10 because I'm about, I'm an 11. I'm a 1 second under person. He was clearly a 130 under, but I didn't know because I was missing runs and I was just messing with my fuel injection. So it was nighttime, and the lights come down. I launch. We're supposed to go at the same time. I launch, and then he launches. And for a split second there, I thought I did something wrong. I don't know if I red lit or what happened, but I'm going, and he's kind of at my back bumper the whole way, and I get the win. And I'm like, sweet. All right, maybe it wasn't, I don't know who this racer was. Maybe he was like a 12-second K car, and I just had him covered. All right, cool. Until I get the time slip. And I was no saint on the tree. I think I was like 50, and I went 11:66, I think. All right, so I picked mine up a couple hundredths, messing with my tune. Cecil went 11:34, but he sat on the tree a little bit longer than he should have. He had a 466 light, and I felt bad. Like you had the car, dude, and you had me covered. But I got the win, and then there was Bob Cupp was left. He was another 11:30 player, and John Wareheim, who was about an 11:60 player with me. I would have loved to go against John Wareheim. I think that would have been cool. We would have been really close down there. But anyways, we didn't finish class. It was after first round, the quickest car remaining got the class win. So we will spout out the name of all the class winners because that's what we do on this show. So everybody sit back, sip your coffee, and we're going to go down the Stock Eliminator class winners. A stick, Dave Casey. B stick, Thomas Sundstrom. I know he's got a Cobra Jet Mustang 68, 69, 68, I think. All the way from Sweden, by the way. C stick, Lance Line. D stick, Adam Strang, Firebird. F stick, Dean Cook. G stick, Jim Roberts. I stick, Jeffrey Coyne. L stick, Robert Costantin. All right. There were no combos at this race. If you were the only one in your class, you got the win, or you went down the track and you get a plaque at this race. AA stock automatic, Dave Ficacci. A automatic, Travis Hess. B automatic, Jason Line. He was flying in that Buick, by the way. Oh, I saw under the hood of Jason Line's car, everybody. Woo! C automatic, Nick Ryder. D automatic, Dan Blabaleel, who was also runner-up. He's got another Buick. He and Jason Line travel together. Dan's the cylinder head guru. Walt Walker, yes, definitely. Come out, man. And Paul, what's up, buddy? Good to hear from you. All right, we are in E. E automatic, Mark Callanan, unless it's Callahan, but mine says Callanan. F automatic, Gary Walters. G automatic, Shane Oakes, who also set a record, who also won the event. Congratulations, Shane Oakes. H automatic, Glenn Briglio, who's just the fastest in the world at this point. H stock automatic, Glenn Briglio, he set a record, a bad, nasty, fast one, and I'll let you know what it was in a couple minutes. I automatic, William Johnson. K automatic, Bob Cup. M automatic, Tim Stickles. Gutters by Design. He's another one of our sponsors. Thank you, Tim. N stock automatic, Ann Toes, who won class at Indy. She's got the 69 Camaro convertible. O automatic, Lauren Kanuick. P automatic, Michael Epricht in the cop car. B front wheel drive stock, Tim Carper. C front wheel drive stock, Billy Neese in the little Cavalier. Factory stock AA, Ken Shannon, Cobra Jet Mustang. Factory stock B, Matt Butter. Factory stock C, Brian Warner driving the Baberka Copo. And factory stock E, David Barton, who is also the Factory Showdown champion. Congratulations, David Barton. All right, that is stock. Now, also, before we get to super stock, I want to let you guys all know Shane Oakes, #1 qualifier, G stock automatic. He also set a record at, what did Shane Oakes go? And it's a 1983 Camaro, 1060. Now, the G stock automatic index is 12 flat. Shane Oakes went 1060 with a 1, I believe. He's 139.9 under. That is flying. That is Steve Ficacci power, I believe. So congratulations, Shane Oakes. Blistering fast run, if I may say so myself. Set the record like that and to get the win was pretty amazing. And he got the win over Dan Blabaleel, who doesn't race that much. He's got that nice Buick. I think it's a 70 Buick GS. And he made it all the way to the final. So congrats, Dan, and nice to see you again. Glenn Briglio set the H stock automatic record, 1062 at 121.84. That's 153 under the H stock automatic index, which is 1215. So picture this, as that old lady from the Golden Girls always said. And I don't watch that show. It's my wife watches that show, okay? Picture this. Sicily, 1925. All right, Glenn Briglio, H stock automatic, goes 1062. Shane Oakes, G stock automatic, 1060. That's how fast Glenn Briglio is. Oh my God. Congratulations, Glenn Briglio. That's a 89 Camaro. My goodness, with aluminum heads or that combo that I don't know if it's still going to be allowed after this year. Maybe somebody can comment and let me know. Kath, thank you very much. Love the Phillies hat. Yep, World Series. I can't afford to go to any of the games, though. What's up, Bobby? Definitely a Dutch classic I won't be forgetting. I know, and I won't either, especially after that class run that I had. Whew. All right, Todd Hoven. He set the AA stock automatic record. Todd's got a 1965 Dodge Coronet Hemi 426. Todd went 946.5 at 138.63 miles an hour. That's 123.5 under the index, according to my records here. And I hope I'm right about all these. And if I'm wrong, comment and tell me I'm wrong. People do that all the time. All right, Glenn, Iron Heads. So Glenn, you had Iron Head on. Glenn, just tell me what the combo is so I know. I want to get it right. So if you're there and you got some time, type me another comment and I'll put it up here for everybody to see. 89 Camaro is what I'm pretty sure, that according to Drag Insights, it's an 89 Camaro. And the car leaves phenomenally. It looks like a super stocker when it leaves. Love it. All right. So Todd Hoven, congrats on your record. Shane Oakes, congrats on your record. Glenn Briglio, congrats on your record. I don't have any super stock records in my records here. These national opens, man, what's the deal? They're like, it's as somebody said, it's like a race that takes place in a vacuum. Can't find any results. Can't the live timing wasn't up when I was there. The NHRA TV wasn't working, and they called me in to try and fix it. And I was, I wanted to be the hero of the day, but I wasn't sure I was going to be able to fix it. But lo and behold, I figured it out. I got it working. I probably should have done it on my own YouTube page, help myself out, but I put it on the NHRA YouTube page. I don't want to get in trouble or kicked out. But yeah, that was a weird little issue, but got it figured out and got it streaming. So if you want to go back up there and watch it, go ahead. All right, Glenn, 89 Camaro, 350, 230, rated at 264. Okay, thank you very much for that tidbit of information. Anybody, if there was super stock records, let me know. And let's go off on the super stock class winners right now. All right, here we go. Super stock H, stick shift, Tony Filippone. Now, that's the only stick car that I am seeing here, but that can't be, well, there's probably some GT stick cars, because I know I saw a couple guys that were running sticks, and they were GT cars. Superstock A automatic, Sean Dornan. Superstock C automatic, Brian Oakes. D automatic, Larry Jewell. Love the Corvette, 67 Vet. E automatic, Guy Desjardins. F automatic, Joe Hertline. G automatic, Gary Ewing. Camaro, gorgeous Camaro, by the way. And this is always the time where my wife calls me when I'm live. For some reason, I make fun of her every single time I'm live. She calls me. Like, how she doesn't know I'm live just boggles my mind. She's an admin on the Facebook page. Wouldn't it tell her that I'm live before it even tells any of you guys? All right. Anyways, H automatic, Charlie Bubka. And I think Charlie Bubka made it all the way to the final. Superstock I automatic, Paul Sutherland. Superstock J automatic, Russell Gent, flying, #1 qualifier, 126 under. Congratulations, Russell Gent. Superstock K automatic, Bob Cup. Superstock L automatic, Carl Milano, and that 65 Mustang fastback. Love that car, obviously. Superstock M automatic, Corey Menard. Superstock A modified stock, Chuck Nagy. Superstock C modified stock, Kevin Cockerham. Superstock A modified, Paul Ritchie. Very fast car. One of the first cars I ever raced in Superstock, and it came flying by me like I was standing still. Superstock B modified, Richard K, and he was the event winner. He's got a 67 Plymouth Valiant B modified Screamer. Congratulations, Richard K. White car. I don't think it really has many stickers on it. C modified, Robert Izzy. E modified, George Taylor, the Alcoholer. I love that car. Old school. Superstock F modified, Tom Dawson. GTA stick, Augustus Adkins, AH Adkins. It's a yellow AMX. Love that car. Raced that car many a time also. GTH stick, Wayne Truesdale. GTB automatic, Eddie Moranian. GTE automatic, Jeff Lawrence. GTF automatic, Louis Gill from Canada. GTG automatic, Wally Clark. I think he's from Canada. GTH automatic, Pat Glade. GTJ automatic, Herbie Sullivan. GTI automatic, Jacques Blay. He's got a Mustang. I didn't even know Jacques was there. That's what happens when you're racing. You know, I missed a lot because I was racing. GTL automatic, Victor Gilmino and the Thunderbird. GTM automatic, Nick Scardelli flying in that Mercury Capri. GTN automatic, Kevin Clark. GTO automatic, Doug Shervanek. GTQ automatic, Dwayne Hoven. And that yellow Maverick. Everybody loves watching that thing go on the bumper. GTTB, this is truck, Mark Lebrec, who is #1 in Division 1 point standings right now. Factory Superstock C, Alex Chenko, beautiful blue Cobra Jet Mustang, supercharged. Factory Superstock D, Don Bellis, Copo. Factory Superstock E, Phil Lankford. The trailer, Gold Rush Trailers, Phil Lankford. That's a Copo. Factory GTC, John Canada in a Fox Body Mustang with a late model 428 in there. And Factory GTI, Victor Javinet, the carpetbagger wagon. Don't remember what year it is. It's a yellow wagon. Somebody comment and let me know if they know what that is. Denny French, advanced clutches is awesome. I switched this year in my bracket car. You'll be very happy. Rob is very helpful. Yes, he is. Thank you. I'm noticing. And Maple Grove has results from all the finals on their website. Okay, wonderful. That's where I got all the class winners, off of the Maple Grove website. So people have asked why Drag Race Central doesn't cover the National Opens. Well, Drag Race Central is one gentleman that goes to races. He goes to the national events and sits in the tower all day and has to crunch these numbers, get these results, and get them up as quickly as he can. All right, sounds like a miserable job. But he can't do that for all the divisionals and national opens. So that's why nationals are the only races that get kind of immediate coverage, whereas divisionals, the results go up like later that night, around midnight, and national opens, maybe you'll get them like a week later. So we'll find out. Thanks, Dan. The Carpetbagger is a 55 Chevy Nomad. I like that car. I love wagons. By the way, Paul Sutherland. I got a Paul Sutherland interview too. Beautiful, reddish, orangish wagon that he painted himself with lace in there. Put my camera in that car, and we got a driver interview coming up. So I do have 5 more interviews. I still have a couple backlogged from Indy. Paul Wong in the truck, Brett Sarball in the Corvette. Jared Grenier is the third of the Lupe Tortilla trilogy. Jared's will be released this Thursday. Then I got Paul Sutherland with the 66 Chevy 2 wagon, 327 car, and I got Travis Hess. I am trying to get out to I can't go to Las Vegas this weekend. We have family obligations, clearly. Next weekend, possibly Vegas, if I can get out there for the divisional. And Pomona, I'm trying to get out there. I would like to I want to be able to release a driver interview for everybody every Thursday. One driver interview every Thursday. I have 5 more that I am going to do, and then I want 15 more to carry me out to Gainesville next year. So that's what I'm shooting for. And I thank you for the sponsors that I have on board now that are kind of helping me here with travel costs. It's the only way I can get out to these races. If you want to sponsor and or help in any way, like I said, hit me up. Be a sponsor. You want me to get your product out there. If you want to donate, whatever you can do, I will make sure that you are appreciated, and anything you need me to do for you as far as getting you some exposure, I will do it. I also forgot to mention Tom Baker, who you see his logo at the beginning of the episode. Tom Baker is making control arm bushings, I believe, these real pretty pieces that he showed me. But he's going to be making them for you guys, stock and super stock. Definitely a nice legal machined piece that you're all going to want to take a look at. Less drag on the front suspension. Tom will give me more info as he starts cranking out more of these things, and I'll be able to share it with you. Maybe I'll have him come on and share it with you in the next tech episode. Also, I want to have Rob Youngblood come on now that we're talking about tech episodes, because I want him to educate me a little bit more, and all of us, on clutches. So tech episodes, you guys, let me know what you have in mind. I have a list a mile long that I want to do. And I'm thinking, Tuesday tell-all, this is my weekly Tuesday thing, maybe a tech episode once a month, me kind of covering maybe rule changes or whatever else is happening the other 3 weeks out of the month. And don't forget, if you sponsor my show, you're going to get mentions on Tuesday tell-alls. You will get a logo in driver interviews that get released every Thursday. Facebook Live, whenever I just randomly do stuff, Instagram posts, Facebook posts, whatever, you'll be on there. And these packages are going to be very cost efficient for whoever wants to sponsor. And you don't have to sponsor with money either. If you are a business, parts, whatever you can do to help me or help my race program is all appreciated. Thank you, Chris Davis. I appreciate it, and I hope to keep them coming. And Dan, 2015 aluminum 5.7 Copo. What's that in, Dan? Was that something I was mentioning earlier and I forget what I was talking about now? Could be. But 2015 aluminum 5.7 Copo. How about that Hemi shootout, guys? We got to talk about that. Now, I just posted round 1 on I went live on Facebook. Now the problem is, you go live on Facebook, it's a 480 DPI. I don't like it. So then I take that and I put it on YouTube for the viewers that aren't on Facebook, and the quality is it annoys me. But I did put up round one on there from the stands. Shootout went to Steve Camella. He got the win over Gary Wolkowitz. There were 7 cars. The run of all runs was the semifinal, though. Semifinal, Steve Camella versus Jimmy Daniels. Steve Camella is 006 on the tree. Jimmy Daniels is 027 on the tree. And Steve Camella gets the win by 2,000. Jimmy Daniels outruns Steve, but by 2,000ths of a second, Steve gets the win. So whole shot win. I mean, that was the run. And then in the final, Steve had a pretty good run against Gary Wolkowitz. So it was a good show. The Hemi shootout at the Dutch is just a wonderful experience. The times, the weather, it's just, you don't want to miss it. So if you get a chance, come out to the Dutch Classic next year. I titled this episode "Make Records Great Again." So guys, I want some more ideas on how to entice people to set records. And we already talked about the usual stuff, like maybe we get some points involved. Maybe you could set 2 records max a year. You get 10 points for the first, 5 for the second. We got to get them back in the National Dragster, though. The records, as far as I know, are still not in the back of the National Dragster. If they are, let me know if I'm speaking inaccurately about that. But I'm going to petition to the writers, editors, and NHRA about getting our names back in there. It's nice to see in there. It's nice to know that you really accomplished something. Let me know if you still get a certificate and all that good stuff too, because I think that would be a wonderful thing. And then, as far as me highlighting the record holders, send it in. If you set a record, send it to me. I want to know about it. And send me a picture. Send me whatever you have. I want to flash your name up here. I want everybody to know who you are, and I want everybody to know your accomplishment, because setting a record in class racing is a hard thing to do. You guys are working hard, and you need to be rewarded and appreciated for it. So I will put your name on my page. I will put your photo on my page. Whatever I can do to get you noticed and for you to pitch something to a sponsor, let me know, because that's what we're all on the same team here. We may want to go for the throat when we're racing each other, but in the end, we're all part of this car show that we're trying to promote. We're all trying to promote our brand. And if I can help you, you let me know. Okay. I also want to let you know that I was speaking with the new management at Maple Grove, and we are trying to make the divisional at Maple Grove next May a big deal, right? A big production, bouncing ideas off. They wouldn't get in specifics with it. I was trying to entice them about what kind of cut. Why are tracks not wanting to have national and divisional events? And I mean, rumor has it that Virginia Motorsports Park lost a few $1 million on their national event over the last few years. I would like to know why. I reached out to them to see if they want to come on and explain to us how the cuts work, what NHRA charges, what kind of how the breakdown goes. But I don't know if I'm going to get anybody to do that, because in the end, they can't bite the hand that feeds them either. So it's not to be mean and nasty. It's just to be transparent. I would like to know if NHRA is being flexible given the current 2022 market conditions that we're all experiencing. The high inflation, the way tracks are closing, are they bending a little bit is what I want to know. So in addition to trying to get that information out of management, which wasn't very much that they were willing to share, but we were bouncing ideas off of each other. They did honor, and Maple Grove did, they purchased a track from old management that had, deals made with companies and sponsorships. They honored every single one of them, even though they didn't have to. So I thought that was admirable in a way, But they put a lot of money into this track. I hope, and I can't blame them, but I hope they don't want to make that return on investment right away. I hope that they know that it's a long-term plan, and if we can keep growing this track, and it's one of the best tracks in the whole country, by the way, Maple Grove, if you haven't been there, the setting, the facility, it's, they draw a crowd. They sell out their national event. The divisional and the national open that we just had, the Dutch Classic, they get huge car counts. If they're not making money, I don't think anybody will. No track will, because Maple Grove gets huge car counts. Bill Bader gets a good car count at his events, and he does make money. He makes it a big production. So I want Maple Grove to start following his lead. Okay, call that guy. Let's get his ideas. So anyways, I just wanted to keep you guys updated. Maple Grove divisional. It might be a huge deal next year, and you might want to come out for it if you don't have a race going on in your area. All right. Lastly, totally going to switch gears here. Somebody explain this to me. Class Racer. All right, we're done with the Dutch Classic now. We're done talking about that. We're talking about something new here. The Troy Huntsberry Casey Miles thread from Orlando, October 14th to 16th, that Division II event. People are up in arms about something that happened there. It sounds like these two gentlemen, Troy Huntsberry and Casey Miles, in Stock Eliminator, I guess it was round 1 or something, they raced each other, and their dial-ins were not up on the board. Their indexes were. And somehow neither one of these racers checked the board to see if their dial-in was up there. And from there, it sounds like Troy Huntsberry left, Casey Miles left. Casey Miles broke. Troy Huntsberry went down there, probably, hit the brakes, saw that Casey Miles wasn't coming or was nowhere to be found, hit the brakes, but still broke out. This is the way I'm interpreting this whole situation, because it's not clearly explained on Class Racer. So he breaks out because his index was up there. Casey Miles gets the win because he didn't break out. So Casey Miles is supposed to go into the second round. But there's a discussion at the end of the track. They say, the division director basically says, yeah, we messed up, whatever. The indexes were up there. Casey Miles is broken anyway. Troy Huntsberry, let off the throttle and knew that he had the race won. So we're going to let Troy advance to the second round. If that's what happened, somebody comment and let me know. Anyways, racers are upset that Troy Huntsberry advanced instead of Casey Miles advancing, because I guess whoever had to race Casey Miles in the next round would have had a bye run, but rather had to race Troy Huntsberry, and it's just like a big deal at this point. Somebody comment and let me know what's going on. What if I'm accurate when I'm explaining that situation, because it's a thread on Class Racer, and we all know how threads on Class Racer go. They start out with this intention, and then you get racers coming on complaining about the fact that there's not enough divisionals in California. Like, Class Racers are just these threads can get so far out of whack. Poor Kenny Mealy's got to be pulling his hair out trying to police these threads. But anyways, the thread is called "Hey Troy Huntsberry, do the right thing." Casey Miles even came on and said he was sick anyway, he had food poisoning. The fact that neither one of these guys checked their dial-in is, I don't know, that's pretty crazy. I've never pulled into a burnout. I don't want to jinx myself. I've never pulled into a burnout or started a burnout without looking at that little red board or looking up at the scoreboard out there and making sure my dial-in was right. I don't know. It's just the one thing that I never forget, and I forget a lot of stuff. I forget to turn my data logger on half the time, and but I've never forgotten to check a dial-in. So anyways, Ray, what do you think here, buddy? What is there to talk about? They accepted when staged. They both accepted their indexes. Yeah. That's the argument. And sounds like a big deal. Well, I guess it was. And it seems like it is. But then when Casey Miles says he has food poisoning, there's this Bubsky guy. Who's Bubsky? I want to know who Bubsky is. He talks in the third person all the time. Bubsky would like to say, first and foremost, I just have a vision in my head of who Bubsky is, but it's probably so inaccurate. It's probably somebody that we all know who's just incognito. But Bubsky comes on and says what he says. And then Daryl, Bareski comes on and says you shouldn't be racing if you had food poisoning or whatever. I don't know. The threads just went out in left field like they always do. And that's why we get nothing done in NHRA class racing, because we're just out in left field half the time. All right, Denny, you interpret it the same as me. Then the division director decided not to follow the rule book. Well, what would the rule book have said in that situation? What is the ruling there? By the way, I also have another question. if somebody leaves the start, they both leave the starting line, and one guy breaks on the starting line, done, shut the cars off, rear is broken, can't move, and the other guy runs out, breaks out. Does the broken guy on the starting line automatically get the win, or does he have to cross the finish line under his own power? Somebody answer that for me, because I was wondering about that. Do you lose the second you cross the finish line in a breakout, considering the other driver did not cross the center line? So you break out, the other guy's broken on the starting line, can't move. Does he automatically get the win? Thank you, Chris Davis. All right, that answers that. All you have to do is stage. So if he stages, he doesn't have to cross the finish line under power. I guess that makes sense. You know, if you have a buy run, you don't have to cross the finish line under power. You can take the beam and then back out. All right, so that was a dumb question on my part. All you have to do is stage. Okay, Huntsbury broke out and lost. How far did Huntsbury get then? And was that the divisional or was that the open? And the open was 8th mile on Sunday. Is that on purpose or was that due to weather? The one that doesn't break out wins. All right, so that's covered. You don't even have to leave the starting line. You just have to stage. Rulebook says you stage, you accept the race. Yep. All right. Okay, exactly. Okay, so that clears that up. It doesn't sound like the two racers that were involved in the race are that worried about it anymore. So I guess it's, you know, it's done. It's over and done with. I just wanted to know. Like, you read a thread on Class Racer and you're like, what the hell is this thread talking about? Why doesn't somebody just tell me exactly what happened? Okay, I want to know. And I'm trying to interpret. And I'm not good at interpreting. Reading class wasn't my strong suit, as you can tell when I was in high school. Inferences and figurative language. Nope. Just tell me what the deal is. All right, everybody. Be on the lookout for some more driver interviews. I wanted to also, I haven't mentioned it in a while, but I did get paid by every single contingency manufacturer that I claimed back on May 21st. How many months ago was that? I just got the last couple checks recently. The only one I'm still waiting on is Mickey Thompson, because they do that debit card thing that came in the mail, but it expired right away. And I'm trying to, you know, get on them about that, because I do need a set of tires. I have cracked pro bracket radials that have been on my stocker since 2016, by the way, and the date code on them is 2014. So I have an 8-year-old tire on my stocker. It's still going strong. Oh, wait, I got it. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, everybody. Stay put. I got to tell you about my fuel injection experiences. So Alpha N. Okay, here's what I liked about it. Switch over from speed density to Alpha N. When I go down the track in speed density, which is the load sensing setting, that's where it senses the load. It takes air temperature into account, takes throttle position into account, I think. I don't know. But it comes up with a calculated fuel setting on the way in, on the front end. It says, okay, here's the load setting and here's the air temperature. Let's deliver this much fuel. If you want to correct it on the back end, that's what closed loop is. Okay, so it gets you pretty close. In that setting, I went 11 in first round. So here's what I did. I ran Alpha N for the first 2 runs. I was a little disappointed. 1169, 1167. I know the car should have been going faster than that. So we did not finish class. I was not able to try and run another Alpha N run. We had to go into first round the next morning. So my little dilemma was the air was very, very similar to first round at the Keystone Nationals, where I was in speed density. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to go back to speed density and I'll dial off of that run. And that's what I did. I predicted 1162 and I was 1162. I was going right on the number. I had room at the finish line and I used the brakes. I only went 104 miles an hour, and I think I slowed to an 1166 or something like that. So clearly, as of right now, my car still likes speed density better, speed density better, because I haven't gotten the Alpha N perfect. What I did like about Alpha N was my air fuel ratio was literally like a straight line all the way through high gear, all the way. For some reason in speed density, my air fuel ratio can be straight, then it can stray a little, then it can come back. And this is in open loop, by the way. I wasn't running closed loop. It can just wave a little bit, but the car went faster. So that tells me maybe I need to richen up a little bit in speed density, or Alpha N. Sorry, guys. in Alpha N. So I had a nice straight air-fuel ratio in Alpha N. I think I'll richen it up a little bit and make it a nice straight line, a little bit fatter in Alpha N. I like that. I think for bracket racing purposes, that's got to be better. It will act like a carburetor. Will it always be the fastest? Maybe not. But will it follow my weather station? Maybe. And that's what I want. You want to win the bracket race, that's what you got to do. Then I'm thinking, you know what? If I get in a heads-up run, I'll go into closed loop speed density. The click, upload, boom, hit enter, and that'll change everything right there. What I did not like about Alpha N, for me, what I needs a lot of attention is driving around the pits. Way too fat driving around the pits. I haven't figured out the fuel map in the low end. It's strictly RPM versus throttle position. So for me, I'm a little lost here because when I drive around the pits, I've only got the throttle cracked about 8%, 10%, high gear, 2,000, 2,500 RPM. It's just too fat there. I loaded up on correction. I put it in closed loop and put a nice like negative 10% in the lean out, but it's still at low RPM with open headers. Even with me running the O2 sensor in the primary, I have 8 holes in my headers, all 12 inches from the valve. So I measured 12 inches out on every primary header and put a hole in every single one of them, and it's still not the closed loop driving around the pits just wasn't right. When I put it back in speed density with the map sensor, driving around the pits was nice and clean. So I still have work to do. I have not determined anything like yet, but my long-term plan, I gotta say, is Alpha N for me for the bracket race aspect of Stock Eliminator. And I liked that air fuel ratio. Okay, as far as correction goes, my car doesn't like closed loop. Okay, all cars are different. Mine with 2%, 3% is the highest I've ever gone on closed loop. It can slow me down. It can slow me down pretty good. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I am a numbers guy. I have that air fuel ratio very close to the target air fuel ratio. And when it does correct, even if I have it on 3%, the most it really does is 1 or 2%. Where it has screwed me in the past is coming off of the two-step. This is what I was talked about last week. When you come off a two-step shows a lean condition. When you come off of it, the O2 sensor reads that for a split second and was dumping fuel in right away to correct for that. So I had to get rid of that. I had to move the correction up a little bit. But even so, when it corrects, for some reason, it just doesn't seem to like it. It likes open loop. I don't know why. And if anybody else has these same issues, let me know. Because other cars, I see a lot of people just open a closed loop and they run and they go out and win races and the car is deadly consistent. Maybe it just doesn't affect them, or maybe they don't know. Maybe if they put it in open loop and got their table better, maybe they would go faster. Some of them can already go 120 and 130 under, so maybe they just don't care. But I talked to Cecil Frazier after our matchup, and I know he was telling me he's in Alpha N, and I think he was in open loop with no correction, and he's obviously flying 130 under. So it's definitely something you got to test, and you cater it to your race program. You just can't rely on what other people are always doing. You got to do what's best for you. And to me, what's best for all of us in our situation of class racing, where it's a bracket race most of the time, you got to have a car that's following your weather station. And I think weather stations seem to follow carbureted cars a little better for some reason, in my opinion. My weather station follows my super stock car a little better than it follows my stocker. Sometimes my stocker in speed density is too good. Okay, it's telling me I'm going to lose 5, and all the other competitors are out there losing anywhere between 4 and 7, we'll say, based on how fat or lean they're dialed, they're tuned. But me in speed density, I might only lose 2. Okay, not good if you want to win rounds. But that's because speed density keeps the optimal tune on your car at all times. That can be problematic. It's too good sometimes. All right. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. I've been running speed density since 2014, 8 years running, and I've tried a lot of different settings. I've tried a lot of different things. correction, no correction, what have you. And I'm just letting you know my experiences. Doug, changing from speed density to alpha N rely on the same fuel table. If so, it might need tweaked in alpha N. Not sure though. No, it doesn't seem to. I don't think it's carrying over. When I switched from speed density to alpha N, the fuel table was totally populated already, but it's populated by pulse width now, milliseconds of pulse width in alpha N, whereas speed density is populated by volumetric efficiency. Okay, so they are different. Volumetric efficiency basically is how efficient your chamber is, we'll say, how much fuel that thing's capable of burning at different RPMs under load. Whereas alpha N is all about how much fuel do you want us to deliver at this throttle position at this RPM? How long do you want the injector to spray? Pulse width. So it doesn't carry over. I don't know if there's a calculator that calculates from volumetric efficiency to pulse width, but if anybody knows, let me know. Could it be why it didn't run what you were hoping initially in alpha N? Yeah, I think I was a little bit, I think I fouled my plugs. They were very black. My plugs are always a little bit on the whiter side. In speed density, they were very black in alpha N, but I think that was from driving around the pits. The run actually cleaned up the plugs a little bit in alpha N. So I think I have the wide open throttle run part right, which is always the easiest part to tune. Anybody can tune wide open throttle, alpha N, or speed density after 2 runs. It's driving around the pits that's the hardest part to tune with open headers. And it takes a skilled individual to do that. So I'll keep you updated. I don't know that I'm racing anymore this year. I'm going to start taking probably that motor apart, inspect, timing chain, and it's got a decent amount of runs on it. The rest of the motor doesn't have many runs on it. The heads are brand new, and the ring package is somewhat new, 1 year in. So I don't know, but the car's 103 under the last 2 elimination rounds I ran with it. I'm very happy with it. I really got it running good. I want to start winning races. I'm addicted to going fast, but I got to start being addicted to winning rounds. In super stock, I'm addicted to winning rounds because I don't mess with carburetors. But in stock fuel injection, I just can't keep my little fingers off of it. I just want to keep going faster, faster, faster. So a lot of this is my fault, by the way. But if I keep getting frustrated with the car, I'm probably just going to sell it. So someone give me an offer on a 1990 Fox body Mustang, original paint, probably one of the cleanest Fox body Mustangs in the country that can go 103 under on a nice weathered day. All right. Open to all offers. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Driver interviews, Bobby Fazio. Got my nice new Bucky Hess shirt on. Be on the lookout for Travis Hess interview, among others. Hope to see you at Pomona and or Vegas. If you want to sponsor the show, let me know. All right, info@driverinterviews.com. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Good luck at the Las Vegas Nationals, all of our D7 racers out there. See you guys. Bye.